Oh, snap. You know what it is. Let me go ahead and get ready. Go ahead and get ready to have a little fun tonight. Yes, sir. Let me go ahead. Uh-oh. CG Productions. You the first one in. No, this ain't no 3-hour one, John. I can't do 3 hours. The gram, all my gram people. That's right. Represent. All my gram people represent. Tonight's drink is sponsored by Coca-Cola. When you need some caffeine. I still got a Dr. Pepper over here, so it's all good. Listen, there is a storm in my area. So for whatever reason, if this bad boy clock out, y'all know what's up. At your service media. I mean, I appreciate y'all tuning in. If nobody watched these lives, I will stop doing these lives. But big storm in Vegas, man. Yeah, let's get them free or cheap equal worst experience. That is true. Usually clients that pay a least amount give you the worst experience. It's all about value, right? It's just like, bro, if I gave out the game for free, nobody would care. But those who paid for it, they're going to put it to work. They're going to make something out of it. Like I said, I remember I forgot what public speaker this was, but he was teaching a class on how to flip houses, and his family would come out to watch him. And they would watch every show, right? They would sit and watch 10 and 12 of his shows. None of them became millionaires. None of them learned how to flip houses. But people who paid to go to the show learned how to flip houses. And they were successful simply because they were invested. People got to sit in his show for free. His own family members got to sit in his show for free and still didn't learn how to flip houses because they wasn't invested in it. So clients who invest a lot, they tend to sit back and let you do your thing. Make sure you guys post your, that's right, DFW Filmmakers checking in. Make sure you post your worst experience in the comments. He said, I had a CG Productions Entertainment LLC. That's a long name, brother. Just real quick. CG Productions and Entertainment LLC. I had a client not pay and then act like he didn't owe me the money, even though I had evidence of him acknowledging the amount. That's why I like proposal file, right? Because when I send proposal file proposals, I know for a fact that they seen it, even if they don't sign it. If I got to go to court and be like, well, they paid the invoice, we move forward with it, and moving forward with it, you know, the fact that they seen it means that they agreed to the contract, because I usually put that on my contracts. And I have proof that they seen it thanks to this service called Proposal File. My worst experience was community college. I only learned the basics of nothing for 4 years. This is true. Oh man, you rubbing it in that you got the C500 Mark II. Hey, Gruesome Company. Hey man, post your address and no, don't do that. Don't do that, bro. Don't do it. Hey, send it to me for a review. I might send it back. You may get a C100 in that box, bro. Don't do it. Losing 20K, that's a rough way to lose it. I use Square now. It tracks everything. Losing 20K on a bad client. Man. BX here. Just came from shooting the empty streets. Hey, empty street footage will make great stock photography and videography. It would make great stock photography and videography. They said, yo, think you can drink that warm Coke in under 3 hours today? I'm going to try. Because it was warm last time I finished. My worst experience was attending film school. He said, I still got my C300 Mark II and it's gathering dust. Well, go ahead and send that C500 over here. Let me do a 2-year review on it. The soda is horrible, big dog. Man, that's all I got. We got to save the water for when times get tough. And I need a little caffeine to get me going. I'm a little sluggish today. It's been a long day. I had to fight off 3 ladies for some toilet paper. It was bad, but you got to do what you got to do. Once I did a reality show with the former porn star, okay, I can tell you now, her intentions was not to pay you with money. She wanted to shoot 7 30-minute episodes in the span of 3 days. We got nothing done. Homegirl was a nut. Yeah, that is a Dr. Pepper in the background. It's the cream soda Dr. Pepper, real quick. Good looking out. Yeah, that sounds terrible. Yeah, my worst experience is calling Alexandria. Yeah, that's true. Hopefully she don't find me and beat me up. You had a client that was 45 minutes late. Yeah. Booty doesn't equal payment. Yep, not unless I can pay my bills with it. Don't do me no good. CG Productions and Entertainment LLC. I got to say that the whole time, bro. I'm just going to call you CG. So he go to the store with his Desert Eagle. Those who are outside of America that's watching this, we're just violent like that. I'm sorry. It's just how we roll. So I had an experience recently, man, with a client that's just. I'm gonna create a whole video for the member section because I'm not gonna go into full detail because they could be watching whatever. But for the member section, I'm going into full detail. I may even post some footage. Oh man, Gabriel Daniels with the first super chat of the day. Hey, clap it up for the first super chat of the day on here. Clap it up for the first. Hey man, thank you. He said, I love when you go live. It's educational and entertaining. Hey man, I'm just being me. He said he had a client that actually tried to pay with her, you know what, and never got the final payment. I'd be like, this ain't even worth it. It's gonna take you about 28 times for me to get this payment. Yeah, I know Alexandria. I call her Alexandria. I butcher a lot of names on here. I blame Detroit Public Schools. I blame Detroit Public Schools. Anybody who try to pay with that form of payment, for the record, I don't accept it. However, if I did, your form of payment doesn't value, you know what I'm saying? The value of it is $40 a whop. And your bill's $2,800. So do the math on that. We're going to be here for a while. So charging hourly rates in Africa doesn't really work, bro. Our people over here never on time. And that's how you make extra money. You can, that's how you make extra money. So I've had, I got a client, man. It's funny because right now I had 2 clients that are just a pain in the butt. But now that they're business owners and now that the economy is kind of tanking, they are super nice. Like, can I get a little more time to pay? They're super nice right now. And a part of me want to be like, look, I'll give you an example of what I've done. I had a client that was a pain in the butt, right? And if your legal stuff and your contracts are dope, you can do this. Trust me. They did all this yapping, and we had completed the video, and they were like, I don't like blah blah blah. It was just a client that was just a pain to deal with. They were just a pain to deal with. They're the type of client that don't want to think. They want you to do all the thinking and then bring them back magically what they like. You know what I'm saying? So you come back like 3 times and they're like, I don't like that. So you go back to the drawing board and they're like, I don't like that. So the second time you're like, what do you like? Like, tell me what you want to go here and I'll put it there. But don't tell me this ain't what I like. Go back to the drawing board. And then you come and then you treat me like you make bad decisions. I don't like your style of editing. My style of editing is to get it complete. So it's people who are just extra like that. And you're going to run into clients that are just a pain in the butt. It's just, somebody say I'm dealing with it right now. It's just what you run into. So what I do is I started marking revisions and I started going to the point where I'm like, hey, the last email you said fix this, this, and this. I fixed it. The video is now completed. this is, and and she tried to say, oh, I want this, and I usually reply back with, hey, this is how it's gonna work. And like I said, if your contracts and stuff is legit, you can do this. I'm gonna do A. You're gonna pay the final part of your invoice, and I'm gonna take this big ass watermark off the screen, and I'm gonna release your footage to you so you can do whatever you please. Or B, you can tell me you don't want to do that. I'll keep the non-refundable retainer. I'll delete this footage, and we can go our separate ways. But I'll give you 48 hours to make that decision. And if I haven't heard back from you within 48 hours, I'm going to assume that it's B you're going with. You would be surprised at how many people are like, please don't delete my footage. Please don't delete my footage. You know what I mean? I'm halfway in, I'm 50% in, and I can't leave with nothing. That method, because I'm not about to go back and forth with you. This is BS. I got stuff to do. It's gonna be one or the other. So you let me know what you want to do. Don't call me, don't all this, because I get a lot of people that want to call you and try to make changes. I don't do changes over the phone. I do changes in writing. You see, I deal with broke people all day. I'm gonna find out if you broke before we do this project. Because if you ain't got my money, we got a problem. We got a big problem. So you better get financing. You better put it on a credit card. You better do something. You better have my money. Okay. There's no way I can. You know what I'm saying? I'll just leave it at that. I'm from Detroit, though. I don't know if they knew that, but I'll just leave it at that. All right, I'm trying to break out of my market niche to even have this convo. Once you know who your niche is, you'll know what their pockets are like. You'll know what their pockets are like. He said, honestly, I don't give clients payment plans because I have clients that try to pay me on a 2-year span. I don't do payment plans at all. So I go through Square Pay. They offer credit. You can go through them, but I need all my bread now. How would I handle a client trying to come on to me? TC360. I've had that happen before. That ain't got nothing to do with my invoice. We can settle the invoice and whatever happens, happens, but I'm gonna need that bread. I mean, I got nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm single at the time, that has nothing to do with my invoice. You can think I'm cute all you want, but I'm gonna need that bread. And we can chit chat after that. You'd be nice. You may be able to get $9.95 out of your money back in the form of a margarita at Chili's, but that's about it. I'm just keeping it real. All right. Waited an hour to shoot while client got her makeup ready. Young dog pooped in the cage. Terrible barking, 3-hour shoot. Plan was 1 hour. Listen, you gotta charge them people. That's why you got to go into it with people so they can understand this is the price if we go over per hour. That's why you can't give a set price. Because you get somebody $1,000 for a music video, you there for 6 hours, you only plan to be there for 2 hours, and they don't think it's extra. That's why I do, hey, here's your quarter, here's our base rate, plus these hours, so we should shoot it in 4 hours. But if it go over, you know that this is my price per hour. And we can divide that, whatever. Let's say my price for a 2-man crew is $300. We can divide that $300 by increments of 15. So if we go to 3 hours and 16 minutes, I'm charging you for 3.5 hours. They got to know that going into it. You cannot get screwed on that. Time is money. It's the only thing in this world that you can't get back, and I'll be damned if I let it go. That's just how I roll. TC360, hey man, appreciate it. A niche with deep pockets, medical tech. Listen, this is what you got to think about. If you're going towards, good looking out, Marcus. Appreciate the super chat. If you're going towards any niche, every niche got money. It's just a matter of if they want to spend it with you. The issue ain't money. The issue is giving you money. People buy what they want. You see people at a bus stop with Jordans on and an $800 phone and a gold chain every time. You drive past them people all the time. Like, you got a car around your neck. That's just, they didn't want to spend the money. They didn't value having the ability to walk out and crank a car up. It just wasn't important to them. So people have money. You just got to find, you got to get the people to spend it in the right place. From Ghana, I really appreciate the educational content you put out here every time. God bless you. It's sad that about 80% of all your tech can be applied to most parts of Africa. Cannot be applied to most parts of Africa. Oh, well, let's learn about Ghana. You got to find your niche in Ghana. It's still people need content. There's still businesses. Business is universal. So it may need to be tweaked, but it still can work where you are. Anytime there's an exchange of money for services, it still can work where you are. As long as y'all got phones, if you can watch this, as long as y'all got phones, y'all got internet, it can be watched. You know, that exchange of service can be used anywhere. But I'd still like to talk to you more to see what else we can do to kind of curve some of what's being taught to fit that market. I'm open to it. That's the motherland. Let's go. Restaurants are broke. Not necessarily. Restaurants got $20,000 freezers. They just didn't value what you had. They're not necessarily broke. They just don't want to spend money with you. My niche is weddings. And they have money because they save a lot to pay for. Again, with weddings, it's really quick. I mean, not really quick. It's somewhat easy. This is the thing I told you. I'm going to give y'all my wedding pitch one more time. I'm going to give y'all my wedding pitch because it makes a lot of sense. And when you present this to a couple, like a light go off in their head. All right, y'all ready? Y'all got your papers and pencils? All right, here you go. You can use it. No copyright on this. No copyright infringement. You don't owe me a percentage of nothing. Just give me a fist bump in the room and an emoji and you're good to go. Listen, when you talk to a couple and you are explaining what you offer and why you are the photographer they need to go with, and you make sure you notify them that, hey, 10 years from now, the cake gonna be gone. Ain't nobody gonna remember what kind of flavor it was. Nobody's gonna remember what songs the DJ played. They probably won't remember the venue. There's only two things you're gonna have. Each other, hopefully, and memories that we create with images. That's why it's so important that you pick the right photographer that can capture the moment, or right videographer that can capture the moment, or have the right photo booth to capture the moment. You got to make sure that you weigh it, like it weighs heavy on them, that when they stand and look back at this day 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now, all you're going to have is pictures. Now, if you pick the guy to take bad pictures, you're going to have bad memories and bad blurry pictures. It's important that you don't cut corners with the only thing that will last the test of time. Period. And don't say nothing. Just look at them. Because when you make your pitch, the first person talk lost. When you say the price, the first person say, I don't know if somebody ever told you that. When you go in there and they say, well, how much is it? And you break it down and this is $300, this is, and the total price is $2,999. Just look at them. The first person open their mouth lost. Don't say nothing. Because when you say something, you instantly sound like you backpedal. Let them say something. And then you can offer a rebuttal, or you can overcome the objection. So that's something that you definitely know. You can use that. You can use that. Uh-oh. Somebody in them spoke her up. Okay. Alexandra and that Alexandria, like somebody stated earlier, they said you're going to beat me up because I keep calling you Alexandria when it's Alexandra. Yeah, I got it that time, bro. How about that? Always be closing. Always be closing. You got to say, listen, I got about 8 videos that I've shot that just in the editing process that's coming out. And they directly talk to that. A lot of people don't speak from a place of confidence of what this is going to do for your business. They're like, we can do video? I think. Like all of they when they talk, it sounds like question marks is after it. Yeah? We can shoot it in 4K? Yeah, like, so it doesn't sound like, look, yeah, Fun Film is who set me up. It doesn't sound like you're speaking from confidence. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like when if you go to the doctor and they're like, yeah, you could, hey, we found blah, blah, blah in your blood. It's a disease, but you're going to beat it. You're like, hell yeah, doc, give me the pills. But if your doctor came in the room and sat down and was like, I got something I got to tell you. We did some tests. You got diarrhea, bro. It ain't looking too good. So, is that your mama? Did your mama drive you? You may want to go hug her. Because you ain't going to be here long. Because you got diarrhea. So, it's the difference. You got to be confident with it. You got to say it. So, you got to make sure you say it from the chest. And you joking, 100 years ago, people was dying from diarrhea at the age of 20. Your life expectancy was 32 years. Someone said, never give a price. Always ask what the budget is, because you short yourself and design what you do by their budget. I used to agree with that. I don't anymore, right? So I have I'm going to give you, as a designer, it sounds like the right thing, but it's not anymore, right? Because there's a lot of competition. And look at what other businesses use that model. Like, there's very few businesses that use that model, right? One of the biggest purchases you will ever buy or make in your life is a car purchase or a home purchase, right? So let's talk about cars, because homes are used unless you buy a new one. Cars set their price. Now, they have things you can add to go from a base model to a super SS that's within your budget. So if your budget is $50,000 and the base model start at $30,000, you're not going to buy the $30,000 model. You're going to add all the bells and whistles to it so that it's within your budget. So with your business, start with a base price and give them options to go up to their budget. You would be surprised, because people, if they got especially businesses, they want to spend their budget. They're not trying to play cat and mouse. If you're dealing with people, then that's different. But give them reasons to itemize and go up, and they will. That's what you want to do, because it makes you seem less shady. And if they come back to you a week from now and ask for the same thing, the results are the same and you become more trustworthy. And they can't lowball you. When you're trying to figure out something based off their budget, they can negotiate with you. When your prices are set in stone, hey, these are my prices, buddy. They can't lowball you. We can remove some stuff. Hey, maybe you can do it without a teleprompter in 2 hours. Hey, if not, we just go over and out. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you can do it without an extra camera. Maybe we can do it without makeup. You know what I'm saying? So what you want to do is set your price in stone. Josh Santiago is our latest gold member. Everybody clap it up for Josh. He's the first new member of the video. Give it up for Josh real quick. So that's why I usually I used to do the find out your budget and pitch within that budget, but I've lost a few clients because they may have came to me a year later and I don't remember what I pitched them, and then I pitch them something totally different. You know what I'm saying? Or I lose them because I'm at the top end of their budget. Give people a base price. Look, I'm gonna tell you. Listen, I'm about to give y'all this. This is on the master course. Get your pen and paper ready. I'm gonna give y'all one more. Let me take a sip. I'm gonna tell you how to price something, right? All right, let's say it's you and your one camera and your one microphone. Or you know what? Let's say you start with a 2-man crew, right? What does it cost you to get out of bed that day, right? What does it cost you to get out of bed? For me, or let's just say for numbers, because Detroit Public Schools, I'm not about to bust out my calculator. Let's say for me and my other guy to show up with a camera, microphones, and everything we need to capture that day, it is $1,000, right? And then this is my pricing. This is how I price. This is the pricing structure I go with. And your clients say, we want to do 2 testimonials, one at 10 o'clock, and we got a guy that's coming at 11. perfect. So I know that first hour, because we're going to get there and start rolling at 10, whatever I got to get there at 9:30, 9 o'clock. That first hour from 10 to 11 is $1,000. That second hour, just to make numbers easy, is $200. Each additional hour is $200. So if we go, let's say it ended up being 4-hour shoot. That first one is $1,000, then it's 2, 4, 6. That's a $1,600 shoot. The client knows on paper that we're scheduled for 2 hours. So they know that their price right now is $1,200. But if the shoot go over, it's an additional 2. So if the client say, oh, well, we got my man's schedule, he got pushed back to 4. Cool. Because we're going to be there from 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. So now you got 1,000, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Now your shoot went to 2,200. That's just filming. That's not editing. Editing, you can do the same thing. Hey, you want a 2-minute project? To get started, my base price for editing, let's say it's $500. $500 for me to bring your footage in, for me to transcode it, for me to edit it. Now, in that price is audio mixing, color grading, some standard text. Let's say you want a 3-minute video. The first minute is $500. Each additional minute is $100. So if you want a 3-minute video, you know your price is $700. Easy. Now I can add stuff on top of that. I can charge you a fee for voiceovers. I can charge you a fee for a custom title or custom graphics. I can charge you different fees for subtitling. I can charge you different things to add to that. The same would go with the video side. You want a teleprompter, I'm gonna charge you for that. You want us to do makeup, bring makeup, I'm gonna charge you for that. You want us to do an additional camera, I'm gonna charge. So that's how you should base it, and then give them the opportunity to build up on it. And it'll make you seem, because real businesses and companies don't eyeball how much money you got in your pocket. The stake range depend on it. You don't want to do it like that. It's just not a good practice. And it's not a good way for clients to have trust in you or logically understand how you came up with that price. Because a lot of companies won't do business with you because they don't logically understand how you came up with that price. It's just like, you know, if you went to a mechanic and you was like, I need my rack and pinion swapped out, and he looked at it like, for you got on some nice shoes, your wife got a nice purse, look at her ring, $2,000. And then somebody else walk in and they like, for you got a hole in your shoe, your car raggedy, $200. You wouldn't do business with him. You'll be like, I don't know about this guy. Because there's no justification as to why it is what it is. So it just doesn't work. But if a mechanic flip out a book and say, well, that's 10 hours of labor, oh, that's $1,800. Plus we add the transmission fluid, that's another $100. That's $1,900. Now, from there, he can still add on. Do you want us to change this fluid and change that oil and change? Yeah, let's do all of that while we here. Well, since we dropping that, it's nothing for you to add the new O-rings to the blah, blah, blah. You can just buy the part and we already dropping it. You can, yeah. So you start adding stuff on. You know what I'm saying? And then you good. Now, from that price, he could say, this the price of it. It's $2,000 based off the labor because of the hours. But for you, I'll do it for $1,500. Then it makes more sense than eyeballing it and being like, yeah, dude, that's a nice watch. Yeah, it's gonna be $2,800. You know what I'm saying? So it's you want to get away from worrying about their budget. Because if you can't afford me, you can't afford me. Hey, if the book say it's $1,500 worth of labor and you don't got $1,500, what they got to do with me? You ain't gonna get the job done. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna get the job done. Period. So that's how I present it. So when clients say, we need an interview shot, blah, 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 cool. It's gonna be an hour worth of work, that's $1,000. Y'all wanna edit it? That's $500. How many minutes is the final video? Well, we need the final video to be 3 minutes. Cool. So it's just $1,000 for us to shoot for that hour. And if we go over, this is the price. For video editing, it's gonna be, you said you wanted 3 minutes, it's $5. 6, 7. So your total price is $1,700. That's your total price if we don't go over. Perfect. Now later they can come back and say, oh, we want to add the teleprompter. Cool, that's $250. Let's go. We want to add voiceover. Cool. So now you have these blocks to build and work on. Whatever your price is for your area, you got these blocks to work on. And that way, if you show up for an hour, somebody can't be like, well, it's just an hourly rate. It's just $200. No, that first hour is more because we got to show up early. That first hour, we're usually there for 2 hours because we got to show up, bring gear, set up lights, yada, yada, yada. It is what it is. And it'll keep people from having you pause for an hour and reset up. Well, we not working this hour. We this hour on the clock. I'm not doing what I want to do. So those are things that, when it comes to pricing, you want to build your pricing structure like that. My bad for going off on that long tangent, but I wanted you to get an understanding of I'm not going to tell you what to charge, why to charge, but if you understand that pricing model and that idea, you can plug in pieces that work for your business and your location. Even if you're in Ghana or you in Georgia, either way, they work for what you're trying to do. Bro, what's the best 70-200, Sigma or Canon? Depends what you're running. If you have a Canon, look, Canons are great. I like the Sigmas because they're half the price. If you're doing sports photography, if you need that millisecond of speed and you're shooting on a Canon body, Canon is the best. If you're doing sports photography, maybe wildlife, anything else, I'm going to say go with Sigma. If you need that millimeter of speed, because there is a speed difference. I'm not going to BS you. It's not a significant speed difference. It is a 1/4 of a second speed difference. If you're taking pictures of a guy that's on stage giving out awards and he's standing there like this and he going slow, you don't need it. If you're doing sports, you need to get that shot. That's different. Boy, we got my boy Asif in the house. Carl Bell, what's up? What's up, big fella? If you say 2,500, it gives them an outline of what they need to get done. You get what you pay for. Yeah, but you can let them add this, let them build it up, right? Think about all the best-selling high-end stuff you sell, right? All the best-selling MacBooks. You don't just go and buy it as is. You get to add stuff. You can go buy the new Mac that's out, the new Mac Pro. It starts at like $59.99. You can build that bad boy up to $55,000-$60,000. They covered a wide range of budgets, but don't just say it's 25,000 because you're missing all of those 10,000. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't look at somebody and be like, I think I know, because you could, if it make like another reason to go with that model is when you start working with businesses and they know your pricing structure like that, they'll start to future budget for you. They'll know what the cost is. And they're like, well, we need 4 videos. This is the price. We need the budget to have 4 8-hour shoots. Okay, this is and boom. And now they call you up. They may not even call you up and tell you all at once, but they may call you up and they can work around the budget. If you gotta eyeball it, they can't plan for you. Now these are businesses. Even people. I've had people to say, I can't afford you, but I see why your price is what it is. I'm gonna save up and I'm gonna come back. What do I think about doing dating profile pictures? Is that niche enough? Maybe if I add a consultant package to it. A-Lock, I don't think that dating profile pictures, because people are using cell phones. You can't compete with free. You can't compete with free. Now, if you were on some high-end executive site, maybe, but most corporate headshots I've seen people use for dating profiles. My bad if I missed some questions, but I wanted to make sure I went into detail about pricing. Yeah, I mean, listen, so she said if you give them 2,500, it gives them an outline of what they need to get done. You get what you pay for. You're correct. I'm going to let you enter at this amount, and I'm gonna let you work it all the way up. If a doctor tells you you need a heart transplant and it costs $100,000, you're not gonna ask for a discount. If it's severe, yeah. But let's say you're a millionaire. What's $100,000? Or you got a couple hundred million. What's $100,000? But if you can choose between an 18-year-old heart and a 18-year-old heart for $250,000 and a 45 guy that smokes heart for $100,000, you're going to splurge. Give them the opportunity to splurge. If it makes sense, if it's logical, they'll do it. You're riding around. Listen, when you went and got your car, you didn't get roll down windows. You didn't get the base model. You got some extra. You know what I'm saying? They itemized that sheet on a new car for a reason. Some of y'all leave it in the window when you get a new car and ride around for weeks. And you see the base the base price is way up here, and what you paid is way down here. Now, it may be some discounts in there, but you got a chance to add on. You know what I'm saying? So do that with your pricing. Don't just have a set one hard price. Plus, it makes it a lot easier for people not to say no when they have options. When you give people options. If you give people yes and no, they're going to say no. If you give people yes, this, that, the more options you give them, the greater the chance of them doing business with you. Because it's harder for them to say no, right? People think Apple computers are expensive. They are, but they give you a lower one. They give you an Apple Air. They give you an iPad. They give you an iPod. They give you so many options where you can get in the Apple game. You probably can't get in on the $50,000 Mac Pro. You probably can't get in on the $8,000 maxed out MacBook Pro. You probably can get the 13-inch, boy, though. You in the game. You good. You still stunting. You still editing your stuff. You winning. But they didn't say, nah, we don't want your money. They just said, we're going to create something for you at that price. But you know what it is. They're not eyeballing it. Build your brand like that. Have I adapted Sony lenses to my Blackmagic? You cannot adapt them to the Blackmagic because of the lens mount. The lens mount will not allow you to. You can adapt Micro Four Thirds glass to your Sony, but it's gonna crop like crazy. Been reconstructing my portfolio website since I got laid off from my bar job last week. Excited for the review with everyone. Yep, appreciate everything I've learned from you so far, Ty. I have a video coming in the next few days that talks about what needs to be on your website. What about the MC11? I love the MC11. Make sure you keep it updated. So the MC11 is, I got one. It's an adapter that allows you to add Canon glasses or Sigma glasses on a Sony body. Works great for what I do. I love it. Make sure you update your Sigma glass and your MC11 often. I myself and others who are on here almost sold some glass that I thought was trash with Sony, and it was running firmware 1.0 and like firmware 9.8 was out. In fact, it was my Sigma 50mm 1.4, which is one of my favorite pieces of glass. It's one of the most slept on 50 mils you can buy. I thought it was trash with my A7R3 until I got the update, and now it is butter. You hear me? It's butter. All right, next question. So I have a question for you. Have you ever dropped the ball with the corporate client? If so, were you able to reconcile? What'd you take away from it? Yeah, I dropped the ball a lot in the beginning. Getting into it, I didn't have nobody to tell me how the corporate game goes. The corporate game is different than the average person. They have processes and systems. They have forms, and they have a different way of moving than the average person do. Average person, you just set it up. Yeah, what's up? This the contract, pay me, let's go. A lot of clients have different methods of operating. They have order of operations that are different. You work with a company like Dell, they got a book this thick that's a style guide to understanding how, when, why to use their logos, lower thirds, fonts. You can't even use certain fonts when you do a lower third. Even if it's your lower third, that font is not approved, blah, 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 blah. You got to know that. You got to know about their style guide. When you shoot headshots, you got to have people in this, they want them dead center. They don't want off to the left. They don't want that composition. They want dead center on every talking head video clip you ever produce for that company. They're not going to tell you that. They're going to hand you a book and say, okay, see you Tuesday for the shoot. You show up talking some stuff you don't know because you didn't spend your weekend going through this book. You'll be jacked. So there's times where I tried to wing it. I tried to eyeball it. I showed up thinking I got the juice and got sent back home for a reshoot. So yeah, I mean, you got to go above and beyond. And it depends on the client, man. Some clients are just terrible. Like I've worked for nonprofits a lot, and some of them are just terrible. And you try to do what you can for them. But you got to do what you got to do. I dropped the ball a lot. I made a lot of mistakes. I'm trying to help you guys prevent. One Sport Network. Good looking out on the fist pump with the double birdie bop. I don't know what that is. Like the bird. Oh, okay, I see it. Got the working out bird there. I appreciate you, One Sport Network. How crazy is it to spend $1 million worth of gear just to make $1,000,001? Lesson learned. Go to rich friends. You don't need that type of gear to get in the game. 50mm 1.8 for the win. The Nifty 50, the Fantastic Plastic by Canon, is a dope lens. It's hard to focus because of how the ring is set up, but if you're just getting into the game, I always prescribe the Nifty 50. Do I know a good place for used gear except Craigslist or OfferUp? So I get all of my gear usually from Facebook Marketplace because I got a little bit more of a background when it comes to people, and I just feel a little more comfortable. Plus, if you run off or try to run off with my stuff, I can track you down on Facebook and do the same thing to you that this pigeon is doing right here in this super chat. I was a server at a restaurant. After the restaurant went broke, I decided to go full time after 2 good months with clients. First month, Corona happened. Second month, currently going broke. Do stock photography. Upload as much as you can right now. Take this time to upload stock photography. If it's not selling now, it'll start selling. Do I think if you wasted a year in your business, it matters? If you keep trying. Justin, if you are learning from those mistakes. I know people who are businessmen and they've been business owners for 10 years and they still broke or still making the same mistake just to say they business owners. In fact, they'll tell you, I got 2-3 businesses. How? I know business people that got a job and they still business people. It's still a side hustle. How? What are you doing where your business don't take over after a few years or after some period of time? Nobody enjoys having a boss working for a company and then coming home and having a whole other company. Like it's all or nothing for me. I'm not doing both. It's not a side gig for me. It's everything. 100%. And it's funny because I remember getting in an argument, I guess an argument, but having a debate with some photographers, right? And they were yapping about business. Yup. I said, let me ask y'all a question. Who in here makes 100% of their income with their camera? The man's just like, then I don't want to hear nothing you got to say about business because you don't know. You don't know. Period. So that's not trying to be a butthole, but sometimes you gotta cut into people, man. As long as you learning with that, look at analytics. You can't just don't eyeball it. Look at analytics. What's working and what's not. The numbers will tell you. People lie, numbers don't. Jay-Z said that. So the numbers are gonna tell you where you falling short. You paying money to get 1,000 people to your website, 1,000 people are looking through your website and nobody's calling you, then the answer is your website. The issue is your website. Make some changes, do it again. That's how you gotta keep, you gotta keep doing it until you start winning. Somebody sent a super chat, Frank, with the thank you. Hey man, I appreciate your super chat, super sticker. Much appreciated, Frank. So if you're in business, learn from it. Don't be a person that's at the same level every year. If you made the same thing you made last year, you ain't doing it right. You gotta keep going. Unless there's something major like what was going on now. I charge separate for gear I bring. Check how much it costs to rent the gear I take. Since they're effectively renting it from me, what do you think of that approach? Nick C. asks. I think that approach is 1977. I don't do that no more. Because clients don't care. Unless the only time I do that is if I have a client that specifically say, we need this type of gear. I don't do that no more. Remember that base price I told you to add in, that first dollar amount that takes you to, whatever it takes you to get out of bed, it should be in that price. I don't believe in charging clients for gear. That's one of them fees that clients is like, what am I hiring you for? Hey, I'll just bring an iPhone and you just shoot it with that. You know what I'm saying? It's just an old business model. When I go against clients that do that, I kill them every time. It's funny how you get people that bring you not portfolios, but proposals. Like, I'm getting charged for 5D Mark II gear. What is that? Don't worry about it. We got you. All they need to know is we shoot everything with the highest of quality video. We shoot with cinema cameras, and that's what we shoot with. We don't shoot with DSLR. That's kind of that's kind of a value thing, and I'm not going to charge you extra for that. Even if you say we shoot in 4K with the best mirrorless, I'm not going to charge you extra for that. That's what you get when you hire me. Put that in the price. And now if they ask for something different, then you give them something different. But don't make them choose a kit. That's a method that old videographers used to use back in the day to up the ticket price. So the Sony 50mm is the most underrated 50. I don't know, unless you're talking about the Zeiss. That Sigma 1.4, 50mm 1.4, that boy is nasty. It's X-rated. All right. Facebook Market is the best place. People, they charge way too less. Right now, people are hurting. Get them. Alexander, when shooting for corporate companies, should I sign your contract or sign their contract? I did an event photo for event coordinator recently, and now they want me to do your headshots. You should present your own contract. So my contract has what's called no waiver in it, because I know people go through that. It's a no waiver clause, right? The no waiver clause means that once you sign my contract, whatever crap you present to me is not valid, even if I sign it. It's a no waiver clause, especially if we sign mine first, because I know that that's what companies try to do. They try to punk you. They try to bully you into signing a contract, which has been tweaked and made by all of their freaking lawyers sitting in their board to be able to own every part, licensing bit of whatever you provide. But homie, don't play that. Been there and done that. That's why I hit them with the no waiver clause. That was one of the things I went to the lawyer like, yo, this is how they trying to get me. And hey, we got that part fixed. Everybody drink to that. Okay. Real quick. Somebody say, take a drink of that Coke, please. Any tips? Whoa, Frank. Well, let me get back to you, Frank. Frank, if I didn't thank you already, I want to thank you for the super chat. For the super thank you. I want to thank you for thanking me to thank you. Okay. Any tips on starting shooting amateur soccer club matches, but the events are all on hiatus? Right now, you can't do nothing. Go to the park and take pictures of kids, but that seemed really bad, so don't do that. Somebody said I got the FD55 1.2. Hey, we didn't say nothing about 55s now. Just 50 mils. That 55 1.2 is nasty. One-time senior portrait shot. Edited the images 3 times and was told they were too perfect. Decided to never shoot senior after that. Sonya, I've been there and done it. I remember I took a headshot for a guy that was trying to do acting. He had very bad acne. Very bad. Like if you hugged him, you'd be scared you'd get pus on your shirt. Like bad. Like I felt like they were like moving, like when he would talk. Like very bad where it's hard to make eye contact because you're looking at the scabs and you're just like, what would you say? You're just looking at the scabs. Anyway, so I fixed all of that. They were mad about it. They were mad about it. I'm a retired vet also. I don't make 100% of my money with my camera, but I either double or make more and double for my business. You got to make it where it's your everything. Your business got to be your baby. Nothing wrong with it. Your business got to be your baby. If you can make $1 million with your camera, you're not going to go work at Walmart. Ronald Wang, hey, good looking out on the super chat, brother. I really appreciate you. Being in the game 5 years and the stuff you preach is golden. Bought the course today. Time to get this bread. Get that bread, bruh. Get that bread and get that toilet paper at the same time. I'm going to call the master course the Get That Bread course. I don't know. I'm trying to think of something other than master courses. What should I call the master course other than master course? Post it below. Call the course this. It's like a carpenter charging to use his, charge to use his hammer. That's like a chef charging you to use a knife. Somebody said I must have brought the wrong 50mm 1.8 for Nikon. Y'all saying 51.4. The 51.4 I'm talking about is the Sigma, Carl. That 51.8 will get the job done. Don't go and trade it. Please don't. Ty, not going to lie. Everyone is talking about glass, but I just bought an MKH 416 and a Mix Pre 3, and my life has changed. Audio is the most underrated aspect of video production. A-Lock, let's talk about that right now, because I'm using the Sennheiser MKH 416. It is a $1,000 microphone. It is what the pros use. I tell all my clients it's what they use for Transformers, and you're right. Audio is 55% of video. If you don't believe me, there's a show I love to watch. I watch it all the time. It's called The First 48. And they will find a way to show you the dumbest stuff and still have you engaged in it because they have audio. When they can't follow somebody in the house to talk and they got the audio in the house of the detective talking to the person that's snitching, they'll show you pictures of leaves and dirty drawers on the curb and you'll be all in like, wow. Audio is 55% of video. The MKH 416, the Sennheiser, for the guys that don't know it, it is the industry standard. It is a complete monster. It is a monster, bro. I don't know how to, what else, what do they say in your area for something that is beyond great? It is one of those things that you buy, it lasts you a lifetime, and you are maxed out. It is level, there is some shotguns that are a little better. There's one or two I've learned about, but they're like $2,000-$3,000. But this one's $1,000. I will never part with it. They're gonna put it in my casket. The Mix Pre 3 is nice. I actually plan on getting a Mix Pre 3 or a Mix Pre 6 very soon. I used to have a Zoom F8. My father told me a long time ago, live a life where you thrive, don't just survive. I'm about to leave my 9-to-5 and my freelance money become my main money, and I'm happy. Aaron Smith, you are very correct. Build a life where you are happy. You are happy. I would take less money to be more happy. And then find a way to get the bread. Should you write your own contracts if you're on a budget? That can be scary. Unless you are a lawyer, it can be scary. If you need a contract, you know we sell them separately, right? Here, let me post the whatchamajig, the whatchamacallit, the jiggamajig. Let me post that. Because if you're on a budget, I got you. Boom. There you go. Is the no waiver clause included in the contracts? Yes. The no waiver clause is included in the contracts. Do you recommend getting a lawyer to make a contract or looking contracts up on Google? It's similar to what you need. The best bet is to either get a lawyer. Alexander, we have contract packs that are based around each one. Don't Google it because you're going to get some free Swiss cheese of a contract used for people to bring you, so people can bring you to their site so that you can sign up for their email and they can just bombard you with crap. We have a contract pack at flashfilmacademy.com. Where do you try to shoot for free now that everything is closed? In a hospital? Some essential place? The Big Boss class, the Jedi lessons. I'll get sued if I call it the Jedi class. Sir Black Magic course. I wish. The making that bread. The key steps to get that bag. Do you have to go into business or can you still get their attention and get them? Late bloomer, you can build your brand out. You can build your personal brand and look like whatever you want it to look like. I would go into business. Businesses do business with businesses. They don't do business with people. People buy from people. Businesses buy from businesses. The 69-step guide from going broke booty photographers to getting that bread. I think we got a winner. But I got to think of 69 steps. The 69-step guide from going from broke booty photographers to getting that bag. I think I missed a part of the question. Do you have to go into business to get them to book? I don't know the answer. Late bloomer, I'm getting a little mixed up. Can you recommend a mic to start with my 6D? Or should I go wireless? Okay. Let's talk about that. If at all possible, you want to boom audio your client. That is the number one, the best audio you're going to get. Number 2 is lav. Number 3 is shotgun. I don't really use shotgun unless I'm doing a documentary style thing I don't really do a lot of shotgun. I boom everything or lav everything. Boom is going to get you the best audio, period. Lav is going to get you the second best audio. If you got two different people, they moving, they shaking, you want to lav. That's what you want to do. The Rode NT3 is no joke. I agree with you. The Rode NT3 is a great mic. I have a video that talks about a bunch of cheap microphones. I got to see if I can find it. It's on my channel. It talks about a bunch of cheap microphones that are like dirt cheap that you can work with and use to get things going. Let me see if I can find it real quick for y'all. Oh, yep. Boom. Here it is right here. Let me post this in the room. All right. You ain't got to spend $1,000 to be the man. All right. From broke to baller. That sounds like a 30 for 30. You see, I'm getting a check by default. I'm also disabled, but my business is definitely my baby. I work on Red cameras primary now, and I do everything media. That's where it's at. That's where it's at. So you asked, do I have a error and omission policy? Yes. It's listed on my quote, though. I list that on my quote because you agree to that in the quote where the contracts are. Yep. I told you yesterday my Zoom H6 recorder came in the mail. It seems okay so far. Haven't took it out the job yet. The Zoom H6 is perfect. I like the H6. Yeah, the H6 got the float 32. You're good. Can I make a contract pack where we can pick like 3 that you want and not the ones we don't? I have some that are together. Like the wedding contracts are together. A few other ones. I may do like a drone pack or something like that. If you got suggestions on bundles, post them. So I've been a DJ for 25 years. I'm switching to photo and video. That works. Because I'm sure you probably have a relationship with event planners. They still plan events where they need photography. I'm sure. From Picture Man Master Course, from Picture Man to Businessman. Would targeting only African and Indian weddings be a good niche for a videographer? Yes. Heck yeah. Because often they want to see, especially if you're in America, I don't know where you're at, but if you're in America, yeah. Now, I've shot a few Indian weddings. They are extravagant. They're beautiful. And I wish I had more footage of Indian weddings to show them. And they usually have pretty good budgets. That is definitely a niche I would definitely consider. I'm sure a hospital would love to have someone running around the hallways with a fully rigged Blackmagic 4K. Hey, dentists are still open. What else is essential? What else? I don't know if essential, if you're in an area where everything is closed down but essential businesses. But on a list of essential businesses here in Dallas, a liquor store is listed. So, like I say, I can do 4 channels of audio, 3 XLR with my Mix P3. Best feature is the 32-bit float. Yep, I love 32-bit float. And DaVinci Resolve just came out with an update, which is the Fairlight version of it, the Fairlight section, which supports 32-bit float. From booties to Bentleys. Hospitals here in Chicago are shut down. I have a doctor's appointment on April 6th. They called me today and said they're going to do my doctor's appointment by the phone. They're going to probably say, you probably got what you think you got. What kind of meds do you need? We got you. Yep. Let me see. Go inside this big time. Email. Okay. Late bloomer. I was saying that when you're reaching out to a client, is it better to go inside and speak to them or email the client the first time and trying to talk to them about why you should work with him? All right, late bloomer. I'm going to go over this with you real quick. She said I look so young in that video. That video was like 2 years ago. I've been doing this for a minute. I ain't been getting no love. So let me talk to that a little bit, late bloomer. I don't recommend always going to a client to capture that client, right? The only time I'm emailing you or bringing something to you is to remind you that I exist in case you need me. I'm not going to be aggressive there. Those aren't the clients I want to devote a lot of time, attention, or money to. You want to put your brand in a place where clients are looking for what you have to offer. You got to get out of the mindset of thinking you can run up in some place and convince somebody they want something. Like, just like I said, plumbers don't knock on your door and say, you got a broke pipe? You got something I can fix? Domino's don't randomly knock on your door with a pizza saying, I got this pizza, you gonna pay me or what? You got to get out of the mindset of that. What you got to do is you got to work hard and spend money to put your brand in places people look when they're hungry for pizza or when they're hungry for video production or photography. Get out of the mindset that you can go and just tell people you do it and then they call you. Doesn't work like that. You just remind them that you have it and then go and put your brand in places where people look for what you offer. Stop running up on folks trying to sell pieces and they already full. Stokes Productions says, thanks so much for the demo reel video. I'm actually revamping ours with our voiceover since that's something we offer. Thanks again for inspiration. Yes, sir. Legacy course really sounds nice. I like legacy course. By the way, I'm watching you from Nigeria. What up, Nigeria? What's up, my people in the motherland? I had 2 people on here from Wakanda. Where would you find an ideal client for portrait photography? Saw your video on how to get clients, but a little stuck on idea. Anything helps. Thanks in advance. Also, your free content is amazing. That free content is dope. You got that free. I was begging people to watch it like 2 years ago, and people was like, nope. Depends what type of portraits. I need you to be more specific, because you gotta see. The thing is, once you dial in that niche down to where it's 3 layers deep, it's gonna point you to where you need to go. Are we doing senior portraits? We doing old folks? We doing babies? We doing dogs? Are we doing turtles? But once you figure out what exactly it is, it'll point you to where you need to go to find that client. General portraits is tough. It's tough. Uh-oh, I got monitors going out. General portraits are tough because it can be anybody. What's the name of the book I recommend about content? It's called Content Inc. I could have swore I'll bet. All right. Somebody say, oh, James, that's racist. All right. I'm not repeating that. How do you market smartly when you have 3 completely different niches? Nick C said, okay, I'm going to be honest with you. The further apart your niches are, the harder you've made your life. It's just you've made your life difficult, right? It's like having kids and they're in 3 different, they play 3 different sports. It's hard to get them to 3 different practices. It's best if they all play soccer or they do something that's all at the soccer field. You're going to play lacrosse, you're going to play soccer, you're going to play football. I'm taking y'all to the same field. Instead of saying ballet over here, you in band over, it's just difficult. You're making your life more difficult. You're going to have to spend a little more money. You've picked a little bit of an expensive way to go. The more close your niche is, the better. If you do testimonial videos, headshots, and commercial photography, and they're all in the dental field, it makes it a whole lot easier to go into one dental place or ortho place and offer your services. It's difficult to do that smartly. It's going to cost you some money. I remember you saying that you have a C200 with a Sigma 18-35. Is the lens for crop or full frame sensor, and does a C200 adapt it on its own? Okay, I don't have a C200. I wish I had a C200. I rock with it. I do have the 18-35. It is an APS-C lens. However, a majority of video cameras or cinema cameras are Super 35 sensor. So Super 35 is APS-C, fits perfectly. You run into problems when you try to slap that thing on a full frame camera. Now, if you adapt it to Sony, most Sonys have the ability to shoot even full frame. They have the ability to crop their sensor and shoot Super 35, so you're fine. And because the Sigma 18-35 is EF mount, it will go directly onto a C100. I'm using it right now on my C100. Somebody say, call the masterclass. Use your camera as a trampoline to bounce out of your mama house. That's long, but I can do that. Another subscriber from Africa, from Kenya. I want to come to Kenya one day. All right. I got to start using my DR16 more. Definitely more promising NLE. than in 2020. Just having issues, stability. I'm stuck with I like Final Cut Pro. DaVinci Resolve is the future though. What website do you recommend to upload stock images? I do have Squarespace account, but I've never uploaded stock. Squarespace wouldn't be a good place. You need to go somewhere like, what is it called? Not Audio Jungle. Adobe has a great place to upload stock images. What's the company that owns Audio Jungle? It is, give me a second. The Ivado Market. Let me post a link, hold up. Let me go to their photos. Let me go to that. Hold up. And you can create an account, start uploading. They gotta go, it's an approval process. It's all that crap that gotta happen because they gotta make sure you're not uploading other people's stuff. They got, yeah. What up? Or every say I just got off my own live stream with the A7 III. Welcome to the live stream. We only on YouTube. We ain't do Facebook today. He said, I never worked a poor Indian wedding. Just saying. Last one I worked was the same place. Obama got married here in Chicago. You are right. Mostly Indian weddings are like 6-day events. Video blocks. Video blocks is another one. I'm not crazy about using video blocks. Been there, done that. But I will upload to them. There's a place where you can upload all of your stock photos in one place and they divide them up in all the other places. Recommend. There is a place, I cannot find the name of it. It was like Black Box or something. I can't find the name of it. I'm going to find it though. I'm finishing my Coca-Cola today, y'all. I can't find the name of it. It was something like that. Is that the name of it? Black Box? It was something, Black Box. No, that's not it. Black Box Global, yes. Okay, that was it. I like Black Box, right? So Black Box is a site. Let me see if I still have my login. Black Box is a site, real quick, that allows you to upload everything into one place, right? When you upload everything into one place, somebody can... Okay, so the goal is to take... You can have somebody on there that's strictly just... all they do is keyword and tag your stuff, and they'll get a split of it. So you'll upload everything, somebody will do the work, and y'all will share the money you make off of it. Definitely. Let me see if I still got my login for Black Box, and we can chop it up. I used to have a Black Box login. What happened to it? Let me see if I can pull up my stuff. Give me a second. In the meantime, yeah. Oh, my boy, Michael back. Michael, hey, man. I want to say I appreciate you again. Michael got appearance on like 3 videos, bro. It's well-deserved. It's well-deserved. You are one of the top guys. You are one of the top guys. Still confused about my niche. If I'm going into corporate headshots, corporate events, and testimonials, and it's not for law firms and the big companies like Amazon and Walmart here in the Seattle area, is it still too broad? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. You can do it in general for, as long as it's corporate, you can do it in general. The more niche you get, the easier your path is going to be, right? If you decide to do it for law firms and you do dedicate a site for that, when you go after a law firm company and they view your site, they'll feel like you can do the job more than anybody else is coming at them. So it just makes it easier for you. However, you can stay at that level. You're doing 3 corporate things. One company is going to need all 3 of your niches. That's fine. They're not complete separate niches. That's not a bad thing. Have I ever used the Tascam DR101? Yep. I mean, no, it's 110. Yes. Is it good enough for professional use? I want to say yeah. Yeah. I've seen them used in weddings a lot, right? I've seen them used where people attach them to the bride and the groom and they record two different devices. Fun Film, the fees aren't that bad from Blackbox. I mean, all you're doing is just uploading, and you're just like, here, take it. I'm out of here. I got stuff to do. So it makes it easier because you can just take all your crap and just be like, here, I don't feel like doing it. So let's see. Oh, that's my password. I forgot it. Okay, let me go into my black box. Black box. Let me see if I can log in here. Man, are you serious? Hold up. My junk ain't working for some reason. Oh well. I was trying to see if I can get logged in for y'all, but it ain't letting me get logged in. So let's go back to the questions. Where do you go if you forgot your password? Boom, let's do that. Wrong mail format. Let me try it again. Trying to see if I can get your guys inside, because you got to be a member to get inside. They won't let you, like you got to get accepted. So I guess I'm not, whatever. Okay, I'll worry about that later. Back at it again with the live chats. Director XJ, good looking out on the super chat, bro. Somebody said, I've been using my quarantine time to learn how to shoot video and edit in Premiere Pro. I know you prefer DaVinci Resolve, but my wife gets the Adobe Suite for $20. How do you feel about the 90D? Okay, you can get DaVinci Resolve for 2 easy payments of free $99. So that $20 can go towards your lens fee. The 90D, I like it. I'm not super crazy about it, but if that's what you got, it will definitely get the job done. Call my course just the black course. Fun Film, that's racist. No, I'm joking. It's kind of like the blue course, or like the, what's the name? I don't know. I'm gonna call it something. They take care of tags, names, keywords, and uploads to multiple stocks. They take a cut. What you make off stock footage get divided by 3 ways. Whoever they get assigned to doing it, black box themselves, and then you. So you get 1/3 of it. But the hardest part about stock footage is uploading and trying to do all that. That's the hardest part. If you can just upload it and go about your life, you would take what you can get. Let's see. Because of the virus, Black Box is limiting submissions to 10 a day because people are sitting home knocking stuff out. Yeah, the submission requirements are crazy for Black Box. Do you think Facebook is still a relevant place for marketing your brand as a beginner, cinematographer, or photographer, or is Instagram and Twitter more better option? Okay, that all depends on your niche, right? If you have a niche that I can place in front of people I can target people, then yeah. If you are just a cinematographer, there's no way to go after people. How do you know who needs a cinematographer? There's no way to do it, right? It's difficult for me to find out who needs a corporate video with Facebook. It doesn't work for me. I can search for people what can I search for? What could you search for to identify people that need a corporate video, right? People who are interested in corporate videos, people who you can't. However, if I'm a wedding photographer, I can go after people who are engaged. It's certain niches that if I am a pet photographer, I can go after people with dogs or love dogs or in dog groups. If I'm a car photographer, I can go after people that belong to different stuff. So it's ways to do it. It depends on your niche. Carl Bell says, I have to save before I do wedding because they say never do a wedding with one camera. You must always have a backup because most important day to a client. Okay, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Listen, there's an old saying in the military. I'm going to just tweak it for camera work. If you don't have 2 cameras, you ain't got 1. You got to have 2 cameras. If you're doing this for a living, you got to have 2 cameras. Period. Preferably 2 of the same. Don't go to a job with 1 camera. I never take 1 camera. You never go to war with just 1 gun. You better have a knife. You better have something. You got to have more than one weapon. Get 2 cameras. What are my tips on creating good stock footage? Go on the websites, look at what's selling, and create something similar, right? Because you'll go on a website and be like, why are people buying people walking across the street? Go film you people walking across the street. So that's my tip. Is there a photography version of Black Box? Nope. The next segment is brought to you by Dr. Pepper Cream Soda. I still got this on the screen? Oh no, here you go. Cause somebody just here. There you go. For your contracts. Wait a minute. I gotta make the announcement. If people didn't tune in last time, let's make the announcement real quick. Cause if you got the contract pack, we just added 2 more contracts. If you currently have the contract pack, there's no charge for you. We got the subscription service agreement. So people, if someone wants to hire you to do a couple videos over time, you can do a subscription. So that way you can give them a discount. And if they pull out and renege, you can hit them with an early termination fee. Or it'll let you work that out. The second one is a non-refundable retainer agreement. Right now, it's a lot of y'all that people who were supposed to do work with you, but they got busy. They're not doing it. And you got to refund deposits because you gave a deposit and not a non-refundable retainer. So we added that to the contract pack. If you already bought it, you got it for free. Just log in and download it. If you started with me and it was only 18, then we moved up to 23. Now we at 25. It's going to just be at 25 because that's a lot. You got extra contracts for believing in me way back when you bought it. Appreciate you. All right, let's get to some more questions. Thomas said, I'm extremely proud of you. Keep up the good work. Hey, man, I appreciate you. Somebody said that Dr. Pepper Cream Soda is a game changer. Yes, sir, it is. Can you add contracts for live streaming packages? My man, guys, man, I said I was done at 25. Here we go. No, I think there is a live streaming contract pack. There's a live streaming one on there. One of the contracts is dedicated to live streaming. It's in the pack. It is contract number is live streaming and events. I even got equipment loan. Yeah, live streaming is available. Yes, sir. I was about to say, I know I had that on there. Booyah. Okay, let's see. As my Uncle Kirk would say, booyah. Good looking out, Monica Presley. She said the master course is perfect. She's a Flash Film Academy graduate. Somebody say Dr. Pepper or Coca-Cola. They're going to reach out. Hey, man, they could send me some, Dr. Pepper can send me some cream sodas. These are the truth. I don't know if you ever had one, but they're the truth. All right. Can I tell you the difference between free and paid Resolve? Really quickly, there are 2 features that I love. We talked about them a little bit last time. Between the 2 that are just game changers. One is the noise reduction. It's the best noise reduction in the business over Neat and all them other plugins you're buying for Final Cut Pro and all that crap you're dealing with on DaVinci Resolve. This one's a whole lot better. Let me take this off the screen because y'all about to miss out on that. Let me take that off the screen. Boom. All right. Now y'all can focus. So noise reduction, there is just a lot of other added effects. You can't do true 4K in the free version. You can do UHD, but not true 4K. There is also stabilization. So not with stabilization, you get stabilization and you get tracking and stuff like that. It's a game changer. Let's see. Fun Film said, I thought I wanted to be a wedding videographer until I did about 5 of them. The shots hardly ever go as planned, especially when everyone starts drinking. I am turning to events now. I love events where people drink. I get the best footage. I'm going to tell y'all a story real quick. About an event I shot when people drink. Weddings is rough. Jumping into weddings, being new, it's like Just like jumping on the deep end. Okay, I'm gonna tell y'all a story, fam. And you guys will appreciate this. One time, I was doing corporate event photography at a magazine company. I'm not gonna say the name, none of that, but it was for lawyers. It was here in the area, and I was there taking pictures. And one of the number one firm, it was a high-ranking firm. They had the most people there. One of the guys was wasted. When I say he was wasted, I mean every time I took a picture, he stuck his tongue out, his tie was out. It was like Weekend with Bernie's. Anybody old enough to remember Weekend with Bernie's where they was holding him up? He was like wasted. So towards the end of the night, he started to sober up. He was like, "Hey man, come here." I'm like, "Yeah." And I knew I was just like, I got some pictures of this guy. The firm was, and mind you, these photos were for the magazine. The magazine who through the award ceremony hired us to come in. He said, "Look, bro," he said, "I'll give you $50 for every picture of me you delete. But we got to go through them right now. Right here, right now. I'll give you $50. I'm like, yeah, okay. So he put out a wad of 50s. I had been shooting at like 16 frames a second a night. You know, you do event photography, you never do, you always do multiples because people blink, right? You want people to not get caught and blink. Let me tell you, he ran out of 50s. And we probably went $2,600, $2,700. He's like, "Let me get that one, delete that. This one, delete that. This one." I was like, "Thank you, sir. My kids will have a great Christmas because of you." And I probably made an extra like $2,600 that night. All because he was wasted. And he was like, "Bro, delete everyone. I give you $50. I don't know if he thought I was going to have 3 or 4, but we went picture for picture. "You want this one deleted?" He's like, "Yeah." "What about this one?" "Yeah." And I'm telling you, it was crazy. But that's just an insider story you get. Anyway, it was a good night. It was a good night. Fun Film said, "I love the paid version of DaVinci Resolve because it comes with a Blackmagic." Ain't that the truth? Weddings are rough, man. Weddings are rough. Yeah, this guy was faded. This guy was faded. He was gone. But stock sites right now, you should be ready to go. He said, "That happens to me too. Instead, it was 20s instead of 50s. Nick C, hey man, it's a great time to be alive when that happens. $50 per photo is what he paid. $50 per photo. So those are some of the videos. Videos like that, those are the videos that I have coming, more of those to the member section. Those real low down, dirty, but more raw videos, those are the ones that I'm pushing for members, for the member section. So if you're not a member, that's a freebie. That's definitely a freebie. Hit the join now button if you want to be one. All right, advice on getting booked outside of your niche. In the early stages of your business, I decided to do corporate headshots, events, testimonials. I just got booked to do a funeral for my coworker. Hey, listen, just because your niche is your niche, you're going to get booked for stuff outside of it. The purpose of a niche is to help you focus where you want to put your SEO, your marketing money, and you want to get your ideal customer. You're still going to catch stuff outside of it. When you throw that net to catch tuna fish, you're still going to pull in some dolphins, some other fish. You're going to still get other stuff. Don't think that you're only going to get this type of client. You're going to get more. Because they're going to say, "Hey, can you do this? You did a great job on that. Can you do this?" "Yeah, I can do it." Perfect. Then you go do it. Am I saying don't become a wedding photographer? I'm saying that if you don't have a lot of experience as a photographer, it's the hardest direction you can go into. Because let me give you an example. I said it previous videos. What's the difference between a wedding photographer and an event photographer? It's not that much of a difference as far as the work you need to do. The difference is, as a wedding photographer, if you miss that first kiss, it's a wrap. As an event photographer, that speaker's going to be on stage for 20 minutes. You can all you want. And usually you're in venues that don't have regulations on flash, where you can stand, none of that. Weddings do. Some churches don't allow you to use flash. I worked a wedding last year where you couldn't go no further than the last person seated at the church. That's mind blowing because people aren't scooted up. It's one straggler in the back at a wedding that's just way 10 rows back, and I could not go in front of that guy. And it sucks. People are standing up. I'm trying to get the expression of of everybody standing up, and you can't because you can't do it. Now that same, I've been paid more money, if not the same, dealing with corporate events. They're usually shorter. The pay is the same, if not more. It'll last multiple days. It's a company cutting me a check, so it's big. They usually do them every year. They usually know other people that needs events. It's just, for me, I like doing corporate events more than weddings. It's just for me. Fun Film say, take a drink of that Dr. Pepper. I got you, bro. He did say videographer. It's all good. It's the same thing. I'm not saying don't be a wedding videographer is the same. You can do a highlight footage of a corporate event and get the same check. If weddings are the hardest, what is the easiest? Not gonna say headshots. Event photography, non-corporate event photography. Birthdays, bar mitzvahs, those are easiest. Man, Fun Film, I got 50 questions coming at me at once. It's all good. When it's highlighted, I read it because it's more highlighted. But it's all good. I'm going to still get to it. Videography, wedding videography is hard. It's not, it's just the stress of the day. It's just the stress of the day when it comes to wedding video. Plus, you're there for 8 hours. I used to do it. I stopped. Sound effects brought to you by Ty. Ty got to make, you get it when I make sound effects. So when you do corporate events, is it video or photo? I do both. I got a team. I'll have some people cover video, some people cover photo. I'll do both. 8 to 12 hours for a wedding is, nah. But with corporate events, if it's 8 to 12 hours with a corporate event, you should be able to leave there and go put you a down payment on a nice car. Definitely. You should be able to go put down a down payment on a nice car. So that's just something that, corporate events they're just easier. Bigger checks, they're easier, they're funner, the food's better. You don't get no cake though. Some of them you do get cake. I mean, if you're a guy like me, you gotta have your cake, you'll get cake. Welcome back. Worst camera purchase ever. Yours was a DJI X5? I'm trying to get my hands on a DJI X5 on an Osmo gimbal. My worst camera purchase ever, and this is going to be a shocker to some of you guys, and I just wasn't ready for it at my time in my career. I thought the DJI X5 was good in low light, but mine was the Blackmagic production camera, the 4K production camera. I should have went to 2.5. I wasn't ready for a cinema camera. I dove out there and I just wasn't ready for a cinema camera at that time. I wasn't ready to color grade. I wasn't ready for only having 800 ISO. I just wasn't ready. And I just didn't have a good experience. I shot some movies with it. I made the best out of it, but it wasn't my favorite camera at the time. Now I can probably go back and handle it better, but the sweet spot was just too little. You pointed at the sun, you get the black sun. It was just not a good thing. Corporate events don't have to be a 2-person shoot. Corporate events can be a 1-person shoot if you're doing corporate highlight videos. So if you got a gimbal and a camera, you can do corporate highlight videos. Can I get a clause in all of your contracts that say if I don't get cake, I'm charging double, Nick C? In the wedding contracts, it states that I must eat. If I'm here more than 6 hours, you got to feed me, or I swear I will stop in the middle of your wedding and go take a break. I'll go get a lunch hour right in the middle of your junk. There's no way. Listen, I'm not a skinny guy. You're not about to be handing out plates and I'm sitting here hungry. And these folks ain't do nothing but show up and sit down and clap, and I'm running around taking pictures. I'm hungry. My crew and I, we're going to eat, period. I've had weddings where I had to fight to eat. Like, are you serious? I've been here since 6. Your worst purchase ever was the Blackmagic Micro Cinema camera. Worst purchase because it had no resale value. I totally agree. What was the silliest mistake I've made where I couldn't believe I did that? It probably was something along the lines of doing something for free or giving somebody a hookup and I shouldn't have when they was balling. Is corporate highlight videos niche enough? Corporate highlight videos can be niche if you're doing like conferences. If you're working with a company that does a lot of conferences, you can do corporate conference highlight video. You can do corporate award show highlight video. You can do corporate party highlight videos. You can get as niche as you want with that. But corporate events are so fun. If you got a gimbal, you're ready to go. If you got a Ronin S, you're good to go, Carl. You're ready to go. He said, I know the feeling. I got a Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera the other day off Facebook's Market, and it's a lot of fun using them. I got a Blackmagic Cinema. Definitely. If you got a gimbal, what's your gimbal of choice? Ty, I'm in the process of hiring a copywriter, and you made it easier for what I want to say on the website. Thanks, Ty. Yeah, you got it. Good copy will take you a long way, especially when you're dealing with corporate. Good copy is the way to go. You can't, listen, a lot of you guys, I am, the creative side of my brain is wonderful. I can think of a movie script and probably write it in 2 days. The other side, my grammar isn't always the best. I misspell stuff. That side, I'm just gonna be honest with you, it's not my strong side. It doesn't mean I can't run a business and do what I gotta do. And I know what I wanna say, but I would rather pay someone to do it right, to have it more focused towards my audience and sell more. And I'd rather pay someone to do that right. And that's fine. We all have weaknesses. Pay somebody to handle your weakness, to handle, your weakness. I mean, that's my pain point. So I am a copywriter's ideal client. I'm a business owner that wants copy. Just like somebody's paying you to provide a video service because they don't know nothing about it, you got to be okay with investing in your company. You can't think that your company going to blow up and you're going to make a ton of money when you're stingy with who you invest with to bring in to help your business. You can't convince somebody to bring you in and you don't make those investments in your brand. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. How do you get into corporate clients? You got to build the brand, build the website, go shoot some for free, build that portfolio, and then target corporate clients. Real quick. Do I charge extra fee for clients that want to get the footage from you and have another person edit it? Okay, if they originally hired you just to shoot footage, you need to make sure that raw fee is included because you have to do transcoding. If I got to take it off my SD, I got to go home. When I'm done filming, I still got to go home. I got to pull out my SD card. I got to pull that footage off and then upload it somewhere. There's a fee for that. You should be charging that. My fee for that is pretty hefty because I don't like to let go of raw footage. And even if I let go of raw footage, I usually encode it to something a little bit less than raw so that I always have the master stuff. Some people just want raw footage. I've shot for companies that were located in Cali or whatever, and it was like, yo, it's cheaper to have you shoot it than to fly a crew out and just get us the footage, and that's no problem. Here's my price. I'll do it. For sure. I have a Weeble Lab. I want to get that new Zmune Crane 3S. How do you get into corporate events? I think I just answered that. Corporate events is you got to build a brand around it. You got to build a brand around it. When you build a brand around it, you got to go try to shoot something for free. I'll give you a free insight. Get with hotels. Hotels that have ballrooms. They're always booking something for a corporate event. Maybe they can pass your information to the client or create a package where your photography comes with booking a hotel room, just like they have internet. Get with a corporate event planner. There's tons of corporate event planners, not regular event planners, but corporate event planners that plan. Most corporate event planners that I have relationships with, they have $6 million budgets all the time. It's nothing for a client to say, yeah, we want video. I got it, guy. That's 2 ways to do it. But you got to build the brand around it. Can I speak more on corporate events or make a video on it? If you haven't already, I would like to know more. Currently shooting weddings. It's a ton of work and a ton of stress. I will definitely do more with corporate events. So corporate events usually have a season, right? Spring to fall is corporate event season. Usually cut off after October, fiscal year, in the budgets. Spring to fall, there are hotels that are in your city that have ballrooms that are humping all day and night with corporate events. Somebody got to shoot them. And that's your time to shine. With what's going on now, it's going to be rough. I need to actually reach out to some of my corporate event planners to see what they have that's still on the books. But I've done corporate event photography for NFL. I've done it for PGA. I've done it for a ton of companies. Gosh, a ton of companies. A ton of cable companies. It's a lot of business there. Let me get caught up on questions. How much footage do you need for a portfolio? How many customers do you need to shoot for free? Okay, I got two things that fully address it. One is to get paid shooting for free course that's on Flashfilm Academy that will tell you how to get footage, why to get footage, and the course, 5 key steps for creating a portfolio that converts, talks about what footage you need. Because the footage you need for your demo reel don't need to just come from your camera. It needs to come from other places too. And in that course, I go into why that's important. In fact, hold up. Let me post that for my peoples. Because somebody, every time I do a live, I promise you, every time I do a live, somebody is on Flashfilm Academy and they send a message and either I get it or the girl I got working it, she get it and be like, somebody's asking you for the discount code. All right. I should just leave that up there. What's the best way to get into wedding photography? Are there wedding groups on Facebook? Nearly 40 people commented. Yes. The best way to get into weddings, if that's the route you want to go, that's cool. Get with a wedding planner and ask her, can you shoot the next wedding for free? Can you tag along? Even if they got a photographer, can you tag along and build that portfolio? I also have a website, but it's a mixture of portraits, headshots, events. I'm assuming I need to make separate websites for wedding photography. Definitely. You do not want to have a website with weddings and everything else. Can I use, can a demo reel have stock footage? No, I would stay away from it. That is the fastest way to lose credibility with a client. Stay away from stock footage for your demo reel. Unless you're doing, the only time you can do it, and I'll get this away, the only time you can use stock footage on a demo reel is if you're showing examples of graphics or special effects. That's it. That's it. And I would really stay away from it at all costs. I would. So do you mean talk to the hotel manager or corporate event planner? Both. They're two different doors to get you in the same house. Definitely the hotel manager, because they can tell you who's booking what, and then you can reach out to them. And a lot of times, hotels will have good relationships with corporate event planners because they'll use the same hotel over and over. It makes their job easier. They'll have a hotel depending on what size the event, and they'll just book whatever hotel they want to go to, and they'll have the relationship. It's an easy way in. Definitely. What film or documentary that inspired you to get into this line of work? Young Blaze, bro, I've been making movies since I was 10. I've just always wanted to be a filmmaker. I don't know. I don't know what one movie did it, but I knew cameras were just my thing. Cameras and computers were my thing. And growing up, I had a passion for both, not knowing that at some point in life, they would merge and be one. Cameras and computers were just my thing. I was the tech guy. I was the hacker. What do you look for when you're hiring outside help? A lot of things, depending on what job I'm hiring them for. Demo reels are important. I look in a demo reel to see if they're white balancing, to see how their color grading is, how their audio is. Simple things like that is what I'm looking for. You would be surprised. You would be surprised. We did some hiring on Indeed. You would be surprised at some of the demo reels that was sent. That was just like, are you like not even good or bad, but are you serious right now? Like for real? Like, is this is what you sending? They'll send you some sob story about I grew up on a blah, blah, blah. I'm not hiring you. I can't put my brand behind that. No disrespect, but I just can't do it. Ty, is there any references I can use to scale my pricing? Specifically corporate photo video. Don't want to oversell myself, but also don't want to be passive because I'm being greedy. I'm going to tell you this. It's another thing. Develop a relationship with corporate event planners in your area. Go in there with a gift basket. Spend $20 and take a basket in there. Pick their brain. They'll tell you what they're used to paying or what one company charged. I guarantee you with corporate event photography, it's way more than you think. It's way more than you think. There's times where we made $350 an hour for a 7-day event, and they say we were the lowest bidder. I was like, never again. 7 days, 12 hours, do the math. $350 an hour. It's way more than you think. Definitely. Serious question here. George from the Bahamas again. How do you become a main company for corporate work? You answered this question last time, but I'm not interested in weddings. So how do you become the main companies? So you want to be a company's go-to company for photography and videography. Is that what you're asking? Okay, so it's really simple. Most companies have what's called a preferred vendor, right? And a lot of times they have internal ratings and things like that, but they have what's called a preferred vendor list. The goal is to make that preferred vendor list. Sometimes you got to ask for it. If you work with somebody in that client and they like you a lot, you can be like, hey, can I be on your preferred vendor list? Do you guys have one? And that is the list they go to whenever somebody in a different department say, hey, we need video. Who's on our preferred vendor list? Now, sometimes you have to agree to certain contracts and stipulations that they have. And it's not going to be nothing crazy. It's going to be stuff like, hey, we pay with a T30, so that's 30 days out. Hey, you probably won't get paid until the stuff is marked complete. It won't be in a deposit. Cool. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Here's our color palette. Here's our style guide. You know the style guide. If it's in medical field, you may have to take certain tests that talks about medical records. If I'm filming and I get some medical records on it, I know what to do, or cleanliness stuff, or I need to wear certain gear. We did some stuff for a coffee company, and we had to take a written test that talks about our ability to wear the right gear around their coffee, because they're making coffee and they don't want hair, and we got to wear beard mask and hair mask and all that stuff. Did some stuff for Google. You got to sign a whole NDA. You got to go to a on-site construction training course. It's an 8-hour class so that you can work on site. They won't let you work on site or come on site without it. You probably have to take information about a security screening. These are things you have to do when you work for certain corporate clients. But when you do that, you become their preferred vendor, their preferred vendor, and then you get to walk right in and work with them. So it just depends on each company. Director XJ, appreciate the super chat, bro. With shooting commercials and promos for clothing brands, be smart. I've shot 2 for free and enjoyed the creative aspect. Yes and no, right? Think about go look at how many clothing brands are in your area. See if it's enough to live off of. And then think about maybe boutiques and smaller people who have clothing brands. Think about more of product, make it product commercials, right? And not just clothing brand. Product is a little bit better. Maybe clothing products and not just something where you're doing commercials for brands, but more of lifestyle shoots or quick videos for things like Instagram, Amazon, things like that. That's what I would do. Another question from you. Double up on the super chat. Appreciate you again. I come from shooting music videos. I love them, but it's a lot of work. Some artists don't appreciate the work. So I'm going to tell you it's an easy transition that we were kind of talking about. Corporate highlight videos. Big money. Same thing, same movement, same everything. But you're telling a story of a corporate event. They pay a whole lot more and they're consistent because you may get a client that got 10 different events that year. They may fly you around. They love it. Trust me. That's the way to go. Any good business books you recommend to read? I got some in the description. If those are the first 3 I would start with. Let's see. Ty, serious? Oh, I answered that one. Okay. I want to make sure I got all the questions. What's the best way to get in contact with me? Right here. Or the gram. Knock, knock. knock on wood, have you ever had equipment stolen during a shoot or broken? Broken, yes. Stolen, no. Depending on where you are, it could be important to get a license to carry. If you're doing a lot of shoots out and about, I usually have a team with me. I usually have people with me, or I am usually in a secure area when I do corporate work. So I haven't, knock on wood or glass, I got some wood right here, had that problem. Is there a certain video or videos you watch? Okay. So Manny Ortiz is cool. I like Manny Ortiz. Manny Ortiz is cool. I mean, I watch a few videos online. Listen, my passion is the business side. I don't need a lot of other influence for creativity. I'm a pretty creative guy. But I feel like when it comes to my ability to do the job, I don't want to say I'm good enough, but I'm good at it. I'm above average. So my focus is all business. Because you can be a 6 out of 10 on creativity, and if your business ain't a 5 out of 10, it doesn't matter. You can be a 3. You can be okay. You can be an average photographer. Let's say you do average, decent headshots. If your business game is on point and you're booked every week, who cares if you're not the guy that can shoot 10? His headshot game is a 10, but he only getting 2 customers a month. He broke. I'm feeding my family. He can't buy the latest gear. I gotta shoot every week. So, I mean, that's what's most important to me. Somebody said, I need the contract love. Wait, let me put the contract, discount for the contract. Back on the screen, boom, bang, pow, there you go. Okay. So what method of delivery do most corporate clients want for completion of project? If we're talking video, I usually use Vimeo. I usually use Vimeo for video because clients can click on it and make changes and say, hey, take this, circle that. And when they're done, they can download the final file. That's what works for me. For photo, I use Shootproof. Both have links in the description. I just like that I don't have to send emails to 20 people. I can upload all the images and they can share the gallery with their whole company. And then a lot of people buy from me on Shootproof and it works for me. Ty, you're the best. Hey, I appreciate your love, brother. Somebody said I had an idiot try to steal my T5 SSD while I was still connected to the camera and dropped the tripod with my 6K setup. Ended up going to court and made 10K out of that fool. That fool would have paid 10K and caught these hands. Don't try that at home. I'm just joking. All right. I love Shootproof. Shootproof is the truth. Ty, do you sell your contracts individually or do I have to buy the whole pack? Nope. We got them on there individually. You can buy 1, 2, 12 if you want. You may not need the whole pack. You may just need a few, and that's cool. It's cheaper if you get with your crew and be like, look, dude, you need this contract, you need that contract. Let's get the pack. But it's up to you. He said, I had a client lie to me about his mama dying, trying to get a free video. I said, I would probably say she got some insurance money coming in. I'm going to charge you double. That's cold. That ain't that cold. It is what it is. Which is harder, being in the army or shooting weddings, where the bride is the person that has a terrible attitude? I would take being an army photographer, being a combat photographer over being a wedding photographer any day. Todd, thanks for taking the time with these lives. I'm pretty advanced and simply appreciate just hanging out with like-minded people. If there's anything I can help you with, let me know. Hey, man, I appreciate you for watching. Hey, man, this is all the love I need. I appreciate the love, just being able to chop it up and talk. And I like talking about this stuff all day, every day. So my friends and my family, and they get tired of hearing me talk about this. So I get to chop it up with y'all. Fun film. Baller alert. Hey, everybody post your money signs. Baller alert. Fun film. He said, I can't let Michael have all the fun. Are you going to try to ask the members what time is the best time to do the live stream video since the time zones are different? And please have Pepsi tomorrow. I don't have any Pepsi. And I am in the South with an F, not a TH. I do like Pepsi though. I'm from Midwest. We have Pepsis. I am going to post a poll in the member section for the members to tell me what time is best. I'm still trying to figure it out. But Big Baller Fun Film, I want to give him the Big Baller Shot Caller Award. Him and Michael, they going head up for the Big Baller Shot Caller Award tonight with the orange bubbles. I appreciate you, brother. I want to say that for real. I appreciate you. Y'all two be on every live. I don't care what time I do it. Y'all two be on every live chat, and y'all make this fun. Everybody makes this fun, but I see y'all pop up, and y'all ask a lot of questions, and I make sure I try to get to them. You need to create a 3-day workshop so we can all meet you in person. That would be dope. Man, I would love to do that. That will be in the future. That would definitely be in the future. I would love to do that. I would love to meet half of you guys and just chop it up in person. That would definitely be something that I am 1,000% open to in the future. I just got to keep growing this thing. Y'all got to keep sharing videos so I can have enough people so when I come to your city, it ain't just 8 of us in one location at a Waffle House. So, you know what I'm saying? So it ain't just 8 of us. All right, let me go to the next question. Somebody said, I learned so much from you. Wow. Carl, I'm happy that you learned a lot. I'm here to help you out. Come to Niagara Falls and help build the city media. I want to come to Niagara Falls just to come to Niagara Falls. I would love to just go there and see what it is. I'm happy y'all learned a lot from me. My job is to help y'all out. Don't forget to like this video, y'all. That's right. Don't forget to like this video. Click share on this video or any video. YouTube stopped promoting me, I guess because I did the Corona quarantine, whatever. Big channels can do quarantine chronicles or quarantine content. If I do it, they're like fake news. Get out of here. So my numbers are like whatever. So just share it for me, please. Pepsi is the best. I'm not denying it. Hey, I got the retainer. I'm trying to get my bread up. If you get the retainer one, you're going to be able to keep your bread. I'm proud of seeing this channel grow, but you have any extra tissue I can buy from you at on the site? My store ran out. Yeah, I'm just launching a tissue line of contract packs. I'm joking. Go on Amazon. You can get some. I just bought some off Amazon. Do you have a $100 clickable? I don't think so. I don't know. Look at George Robertson. It's not highlighted, but I see you, brother. I appreciate your attempt. That's correct. 132 people with 32 likes. He said, y'all getting free knowledge. Look at Nick C. That's my guy. Way to represent. Waffle House do be lit. They closed them all down, though. You said y'all can fly to Dallas? That would be dope. That would be dope. He said, if I need some more content for my portfolio, should I try to still reach out to businesses to try to do some video for them in the middle of this pandemic, or should I wait till it's over? I'm going to be real with you, right? Companies are hurting. If you can offer them a free way to offer more marketing right now, bro, you will win. That's called beating the system. I would definitely do that. Right now, if you're building your portfolio and you want companies, they need to tell people we're still alive. We still got drive-in. We still got this. We still can deliver. Whatever they still can do. Right now is the time to be reaching out to them saying, hey, I'm a videographer. I'm building my portfolio. I want to shoot something for you. How can I help you? Or sometimes do some research. Do some research on their website. Are y'all still open during all of this? Yeah. How's business? Slow. Perfect. I want to shoot a video to help bring you more business for free. I'm building my portfolio, and don't approach them and say, hey, I'm doing this to get free clips. I'm doing this to better tweak my ability or hone my ability to bring you more business in a time like this. That's it. Let me figure out a way to do it for you. That's what you got to do. And then pick their brain. And get more than just clips out of it. Go through the whole sales process. Give them contracts. Give them a price of what it would be, and then make it free at the bottom. Make sure you tell them, hey, I want to go through the whole process with you. You know, what do you think about my website? They are your ideal client. Sit down with them and talk to them. Use this time to get all the information you can get. Amazon not making deliveries in Chicago until middle of April. Are they still delivering at my house? Is it safe for black people in Dallas? Yes. I tell people all the time, the South is actually safer than the North. If you're in the North or the Midwest, y'all got to worry more than cats in the South. The best money-making business right now would be mobile haircut salon. I needed a haircut before all of this stupid crap started. Hey, man, yeah, but they don't want to get sick. Young Blaze says, he says Ty is pretty much greater than Peter McKinnon. I'm going to drink to that. I ain't going to say nothing but fist bump the screen. Boom. My guy. All right. I wanted to do that with dealerships around me, but shelters in place. And yeah, New York is, y'all getting hit hard right now. Y'all getting hit real hard right now. You're going to probably have to go to some medical treatment center, something in the medical field. And if it's not your niche, don't do it. Sit tight. Work on your website. But if medical is somewhere in your niche, right now is the time to say, hey, are you guys still open? Yeah. Let's shoot some content to show people you're still open for your social media. You can have it. I just need the content. You show up with a mask and you go film. That's what I would do. Somebody said Peter be on some corn. I mean, them guys, listen, YouTube, dog and pony show, mirrors, smoke and mirrors sell. You know, people want to see flashy, cute shots. And that's cool. Like, I ain't got nothing about, you know, I that's cool. I can vlog every day and wake up and, you know, say, hey, today we're going to talk about business, and then talk about my truck for 10 minutes and talk about the dog and walk to the store and walk on the street and get in the truck and start the truck and drive down the street. Just so 22 minutes in the video, I can tell you about our sponsor of the day and then tell you about this, that, and the other, and then give you 30 seconds of what can help you, and then go back to like, oh, look at this shot. That's just not my style. It helps me, it hurts me. Some people just don't like this method of learning. It's not flashy enough for them. They don't get enough from it, and that's cool. That's what's great about YouTube. You can cut off the crap you don't want to, and you can tune in to what you want to. So, them guys have hey, he got 1 billion kajillion subscribers. He's doing something right. I respect that. I respect that man. Your channel was the reason I bought my Field World monitor and Hollyland 400S. I hope you got a kickback from the affiliate links. I think I got a few pennies probably. How do you like them? I love both of them bad boys. I love both of them. My Hollyland is the truth. I got another review coming up for a director's monitor. It's coming up real soon. I really like it. Do you think it's a good idea to contact all of your clients to check on them during this difficult time? We can shoot right now, but we can check on them later. We can't shoot right now, but we can check on them later. Yes. All of that great customer service stuff works. Send them an email. Tell them you're thinking about them. Say, hey, we guys over here, we want to make sure you guys are good. We still got your back. It's definitely, right now is a time for this is a time for your company to blow up. Use this opportunity. Do not look at this as a bad, oh my God, how are we gonna? No, it is grind time right now. You need to come out of this better. Because I'm gonna tell you, listen to me, mark my words. Listen to me. When that floodgate open up and people are released from their homes, they're going to spend money at an all-time high. They're going to blow so much bread, and you need to make sure you have your arms wide open to catch it. Position yourself to win. Definitely want to do that. Alexandra, find my niche has proven difficult. Better now than when I've invested time and money in something I'm not passionate about. Thanks for knocking us over the head with niche, Ty. Major keys. Listen, yes, you will blow a lot of, it's just like dating, right? If you don't know what you want, if you don't know what type of person makes you happy, you're going to date a lot of the wrong people. You're going to waste a lot of your life with the wrong people. If you don't know what you need, at some point you got to look in the mirror and say, what type of partner will make me happy? And stop living in a world where you know what you don't want and you don't know what you want. Figure out what you want. You ever see The Notebook? And he like, what do you want? What do you want? Like, that's my favorite part. If I like that movie, but I don't like that movie. But if I did like that movie, that would be my favorite part of the movie. If I own the DVD still, that would be my part. But since I don't, own the DVD to the notebook, and that's not my movie. That part is okay, but I like it. But you got to know what you want. If you know what I mean. What's the best CRM, customer relationship management tool for photography right now? Currently using, I don't even know what that is. I never heard of it. I like, what is it called? Honey, what is it called? Wait. I've used a few. I use Tave. I've used Honeybook. Honeybook is pretty decent. I'm a little different on mine. Like, I like to separate mine. I like to use SquarePay and I like to use Proposalify. That's just me. Those are my two. I try other stuff. I just don't like to be that invested in their system where I can't just export and go. That's just me. That's just me, keeping it real. Marshall's electronic monitors. I didn't see the rest of that. That podcast is going to be about relationships coming soon. I see it. My podcast, I'll tell you what my podcast is going to be about. I tell you, it's called That One Date. It's about your worst dating experience ever. We talk about it. It's coming soon. I'm working on it. And it's spelled THAT1D8.com. Website's up. Ty, I appreciate you so much. You never run out of gas. Thank you. Carl, I'm going to be honest with you. I love this. It's passion. That's why I tell you to pick something you're passionate about. You will never run out of gas. I love this. I could be doing something else right now. I'd rather do this because I love this. It's just I just love it. I just love it. Anybody in my family, any of my friends know I just love it. So it's just me. I'm really starting to see the importance of a color checker when you're dealing with multiple different lighting sources, especially if they're different Kelvin levels. It's paramount not to eyeball it. Bro, I cannot tell you how much more you can get out of your camera if you understand the idea of color correction and doing that in camera. As well as in post. So a color checker helps you do it in post. A color meter, or more than a light meter, a color meter helps you do it in camera. So when you're shooting, and that's funny, I got a video coming, it's already being edited. But if you're shooting with an 8-bit Kodak, people are like, I want 10-bit so I can have flexibility. You don't need 10-bit if you know how to shoot an 8-bit right. You don't need 10-bit. If you can get 8-bit dialed into the right Kelvin temperature, the Kelvin degrees, you don't need 10 bits of flexibility. 10-bit is needed when you need to shift colors. I mean, it gets you a little bit better. You get better colors with 10-bit. I'm not knocking it. I'm not saying, but as far as flexibility in RAW, you don't need it. If you perfectly expose a JPEG, you don't need a RAW image. RAW is nice to have, but you don't need it. Just something to think about. I Googled that one podcast and it's actually come up. It's called that. Oh, mine is called That One Date. Do you have an existing podcast? Nope, I got one that I'm working on. That's totally separate. Totally separate. The one thing I learned about being a filmmaker is to hit the gym, because sometimes those C-stands fully kitted out, and gimbals make those arms. Yeah, and gimbals will get them arms right. Gimbals will get them arms right. What is my gimbal of choice for the 4K? I just sold my gimbal. I'm going to probably get the Zimune Crane 3S. I'm not big enough for them to send me one. They'll send me a little bitty phone gimbal all day, but they ain't gonna send me the regular gimbal. What about banding? 10-bit helps with that. Yeah, but if you get a bigger sensor, if you're going full frame 8-bit versus micro 4/3 10-bit, you're probably gonna see about the same amount of banding. What made you want to do a podcast on a podcast, The Last Date? Not The Last Date, your worst date ever. Because I had some bad dates. I heard crazy stories about dates. Carl Bell said, glad you love it. Thank you. You just don't understand how watching your channel has helped me. I bought the 50 millimeter and the 85, both 1.8, but that's what I can afford at this time. Carl Bell, you can kill the game with those two lenses. You can kill the game with those two lenses, depending on what you're doing. Those lenses are great for talking headshots and headshots. So video and photo. Can't go wrong with them. Now, depending on which way you want to go, I can give you some other lens suggestions, but for now, you're good. Favorite movie of all time is The Room. I can't think, it's The Room or when they're all stuck in that room and they have to figure out why they're there and get out of the room. Is that what The Room is? I may not be right. I hope it's not The Room. I hope it's not what I'm looking up here, but I can't remember. Zim Ukraine version 2, 3-axis gimbal. No, they have a new Zim Ukraine Lab 3S. They just dropped it March 19th. It's pretty dope. It's pretty dope. It's nice. I want to try to get my hands on one. If you know somebody over there, tell them to holler at me. How important is APS-C versus full frame? Not as important as you think. Not as important as they make it. You can do everything. There isn't a shot you can't get with a APS-C that you can get with a full frame. Full frame just gives you a wider area of view, giving you a little bit better shallow depth of field, but it's one of those things that's a little overhyped. I know photographers that use APS-C that are high-end photographers that make a living, make good money, make 6 figures. They wouldn't touch a full frame because they don't need it. So, you know, full frames are typically a little bit better in low light, but sensors are so good, it really don't matter. Not to that extent. Invest in a glass. Invest in a better glass. Somebody said low light. My chair is making all kind of noise. Somebody said full frame is way better. Full frame has its benefits. You're not going to be able to achieve something in full frame that's impossible in APS-C. You can get a wider look. You can get more shallow depth of field, but it's not going to cause you a difference in business. Like for artistic value, it's there. For business value, it's not. Because most video cameras are APS-C. All the FS5s, FS7s. Is FS7 full frame? I don't think it's full frame. I got to look it up. Let me see. But most video cameras, most Reds are Super 35. Somebody tell me whether or not the FS7, I think that's Super 35. Somebody say I prefer portraits on crops. It's not. Hey, somebody said I just got the Lab 3S yesterday and it wobbles. Tomorrow I'm sending it back. What? The 3? I don't know about that, man. That got to be, I don't know. I got to look into that. Is the Crane 3 for sale? Let's see if it's for sale. If it's for sale, I may grab one. Oh, it is for sale. Oh, okay. That's pretty dope. I'm about to see if they got the big boy. Amazon got them already. That's nice. All right, Rolling Music. Appreciate it. What are the biggest differences between weddings and corporate events other than the money? The stress. The stress is the biggest difference. Corporate events are a whole lot less stressful. Weddings are just crazy. Corporate events can lead to more gigs. Weddings, unless somebody get remarried again, don't often lead to more gigs. Unless your niche is corporate, couple photos, maternity photos, baby photos, like that. But weddings are usually one and done. One and done. Said a wobble with the Scarlet? I don't know. I got to look into that. I didn't know Amazon had them that quick. That's pretty dope. And they're only $739, $649. I want the one that's $739. I'm going to have to ease on down that road. The $739 is the one come with I want the one that come with all the focus craps and everything. So I'm going to have to look into that. They're actually priced pretty decent. But we'll see. We'll see what Jin Yun got up. But I actually like them. The 3S. Definitely. Let's see. Next question real quick. So he said, I just shot on the Canon 7D with the fantastic plastic using the Godox SL60W. I was so surprised at what I could do with the camera with great lighting. Would you recommend it for full frame? Would you recommend for a full and hair light? The SL60W, man, I love that light, bro. For the price, you can't go wrong with that. You can't go wrong with that. I'm already a one-man company. Any tips on workflow after raw photos and videos captured and what to go to next to give the final product? I give final product on video with Vimeo. I give final product on photography with Shootproof. Those are just my delivery methods of choice. It makes it a whole lot easier. And my workflow usually goes in that direction. That's how I usually do. Uh-oh, we at the 2-hour mark, 2-hour, 10-minute mark. You know how we know what happens after that. What are my thoughts on printed marketing material, DJ Quest? I just had the last live. I went deep into detail on that. I like it. It's just a way. It's not a way. It ain't gonna blow up your phone, but it's gonna let people know you're here. It's a secondary marketing method that works. He said, thanks for the video. My man got a D750 2 years ago, and I'm trying to do some get that bag gigs. You can definitely do it with that camera, brother. You can definitely do it. Definitely do it. Will I ever do a YouTube live where I critique other filmmakers' work? I get that question a lot. Yes. As of now, if you are a member on the YouTube channel, you have the information on the community tab so that you can submit your info so that we can review it, because only members we're going to review, gold members will review. And that Q&A is going to be available live to members and then available to the public at a later time. So, Nick C say, Ty, keep drinking Cokes and Dr. Peppers or move into an alcoholic drink and forget about that time. Let's do an all-nighter. I can't do an all-nighter. I can't do 3 hours, not tonight. I'm gonna do one in the middle of the day where we do 3 hours, for sure. I'm gonna let you know beforehand. You gotta stay tuned in. I'm gonna call it before. I'm gonna call it the 3-hour live chat. And I'm gonna post it up there, and that's it. And you gotta stay the whole time. Do I recommend niches based on equipment? Nope. I recommend equipment based on niches. Definitely. Because you can flip equipment. Because something you love is more important than equipment you got. You know, definitely. Man needs sleep. Yeah. This drink ain't even cold no more. I'm just rocking with it. He said, I got one last question and I'm out. You good, Young Blaze? Go for it. What's your dream gig shoot? Doing commercials for Super Bowl? My dream gig shoot. I had a shoot where it was just like bikinis in a pool one time. I enjoyed that. Let's see. My dream gig shoot would be something involving travel. Something on a boat somewhere with some blue water. Something that's just away from, I want to do some Discovery Channel, National Geographic, I ain't gonna say the wilderness, but on some beach in some little island somewhere. And, you know, we're filming a party or something. What was the Blaze party? What was the party Ja Rule was involved in? I want to film that. I don't know, something like that. Something that's just far away. Do you ever feel that you have your hands on too many projects at the same time? Keep killing it. You're making moves, my man. You know what? Sometimes, yeah, it's time to outsource. So I've been outsourcing more. Outsource, right? Editing, I'm trying to do less of. I have an editor on the staff, and sometimes when stuff get back down, he'll do it. I'll bring in a second editor, but now I'm outsourcing editing to Video Husky, which they're currently editing the next 8 videos I've created for you guys. And I'm going to do a video about working with Video Husky because I like them. They have $4.99 unlimited editing, unlimited videos, and I have a link in the description. So I am starting to outsource stuff. I use a company called Clip and Path to do photo editing. And the goal is to just have creative control, but to outsource it so that you're not touching everything. Because the bottleneck on business is usually editing. I just want to be able to say, here, I like it, I don't like it, yes or no. These are the directions. Let me put this up because I just got another message. So, let's see. I'm curious on how much creative control you get when working in corporate. Do you get... Okay, this is the thing. Corporate is usually, it's one or two things. Corporate is usually extra boring. And when I say boring, I mean easy money. Headshots, talking headshots, shallow depth of field, B-roll. It's easy money. And you'll be surprised how much you'll get paid to do that boring stuff over something where you're wrecking your brain to please a client and be creative. That boring stuff pays 10 times more, 10 times more times. Like the boring stuff pays. And it's times where I'll spend 2 months doing all corporate stuff and it'll be so boring that I may go take a free job just to be creative. And I still have creative freedom. It's just that they don't want to bend too much. They don't want cursive fonts and they don't want to do too much. It's a communication video for an executive at a health insurance company. How crazy can you get with it? You can't get too crazy. I may bust out a new slider or use a new gimbal to follow him walking down the hallway, but I'm cool with that. I'll go be creative on my dime if this is what pays the bills. Nixie said, don't mention travel gigs. I'm supposed to be going on a fully paid trip to Iceland next week for a commercial, and I was going to shoot, and it got canceled. Dang, that hurts. I feel you, brother. Do some people really pay $60,000 for videos? Some people pay $600,000 for videos. Yep. But they don't pay it to people. They pay it to businesses. Companies pay companies. Definitely. Would you suggest getting a used MKH 416, 800, or a new one this time? If 800 is what they're selling it for, you might as well spend an extra 150 and get you a new one. If you can get one for like $5, jump on it. So my first gig was a corporate gig for Raptors law firm. I crapped my pants. That's a lot. That's jumping off the deep end, but it can be done. What other live stream gear would you use until you save for the sling? The sling is the king. It's the cheapest way to go too. It's sort of the cheapest way to go. If you have multi-cameras, sling is the way to go. If you don't, I would use a laptop and a video capture device. That's why I say do more corporate, but I want to do more travel and leisure. You'd be surprised at how much travel is involved with corporate clients. I've traveled so much with corporate clients. I'll give you another, well, I'll save that story for the member section. Members, remind me to tell you a traveling story, and I'll put that in the member section. And remind me to tell you that. I'll tell you that. How do you contact other business to shoot video for them? Should you call, email, other? You shouldn't contact them at all, Blake. You should set it up so they can contact you. You shouldn't contact them at all. You should be the place they're looking when they need a video. Is corporate videos a tight enough niche, or should I be more specific? I would be more specific. I would dig down one more layer. It'll help you. I would do more of a specific type of corporate video or in a specific industry. 2 layers deep is a type in a industry. So let's say if you do award ceremonies for banking industry, that's a super niche. Super niche. Apparently the best niche to shoot is drunk people. I would agree. Or anything with drunk. All right. We are at 2 hours and 18 minutes. Let's see. I'm going to take one more question and we're going to peace out. Let me see. Who got the next question? Boom. If you had a 3-minute promo video for a company, how long would you make the actual sit-down interviews to make sure you have enough content? And do you basically ask every company the same stuff? Okay. For a 3-minute video, it depends how much time they had. I would usually get an hour worth of footage. That's just me if I'm asking questions. I like to let the company dictate the questions and it's based off what do they want? What are we trying to sell in this video? What are we trying to push? What is our goal? What needs to be displayed in this content? Then I would make my questions based off that. And if I'm talking to multiple people, I would ask multiple people the same questions because then I can cut and go with different answers that may line up and work together. That's just me. I would leave that. Listen, stop. If clients aren't paying you to come up with the idea of the video, stop doing it. That's something you need to itemize. You're paying me to film it. You're not paying me you want me to do pre-production? You want me to come up with the concept? You want me to design it or not? Or are you just paying me to shoot it? Do y'all got the stuff? And you just paying me to shoot it? Those are things you need to itemize. Those are things you need to itemize in the your bill, in your invoice. If clients are paying you to do pre-production, that's cool. I'll write the script. We'll come up with it. I'm going to charge you for all that. I'll make all that money. Then we can get to filming it. Then we can get to, you paying me for a teleprompter? Cool. You paying for makeup on site? Cool. Paying for an extra guy? Cool. Pay me for that. Then we get to editing. Do you want the, so you got to itemize it. Those are all things that clients can click a checkbox next to, and they can do. They can add to the overall thing. Because I'm not doing all of that. If you're not going to pay me a couple $100 to have me come shoot, and you want me to come up with the idea too? Nah, it don't work like that. So those are things you definitely have to do. Definitely have to do. You got to make sure it's good. So, Google Ads is definitely the way you want to go, because you can get in front of people that's looking for it. Can you outsource editing for corporate videos? Yes. Like I said, I use Video Husky. Is it a good idea to offer services like a testimonial for free to existing clients that you do events with to build portfolios, since the relationship is great? No, but yes. I'm going to tell you this, then we get ready to wrap. What I do is I'll add testimonials on, especially when I do event photography or event videography. I'll add testimonials as a selling point. Hey, we can come there and do a highlight video. And while we're there, we can capture some testimonials about the event that maybe later we can edit into separate videos, or we can provide you with the raw footage. That's usually a selling point. And that's something that makes people think like, oh, well, this other company, they quoted me a higher amount. And they just said just a highlight video. Well, I'll go around and we'll get testimonials, and then you can use them in the highlight video, or you can have them separately. So, that's a way you can go. The name for video editing is Video Husky. Video Husky. It's in the description. And yeah, we do concept scripts for clients, but we charge them for that. Do I have a catheter? I never get up. Nope. That's why I'm cutting it out at 2 hours so I can run to the bathroom. Nope. What you didn't see is what I did with the other can. I just moved it down here, and you didn't see me go. There you go. Anyway, hey, I want to thank you guys for sticking around for 2 hours and 22 minutes while we chop it up on this live session like we do every couple of days. It's really important. It's really important. And I know I say this with every video, but you guys don't understand what you mean to me. It's really important that I thank you for your support. You guys are the reason I do this. I love coming on here talking to y'all. I love chopping it up. Make sure you guys follow me on the gram at Flash Film Academy. Follow me on Facebook. If you are a member, I got some stuff coming for you in the next few days. Sit tight. I got more stuff coming. If you're not a member, hit that join button. And let me post this one last time, because that way I can not have the emails that I'm about to get, because people are going to be like, well, what was that? What was that? There you go. Okay. Because I'll get messages about it. I will see you all. And no problem. Hey, I love talking to y'all, man. We're going to keep growing. Everybody going to keep getting that bag. We're going to keep having fun. And we're going to keep growing. All right? I will definitely see you guys in the next video. And we got a whole lot more content coming. Trust me. All right? So sit tight. Be patient. Give me a few days. I got you. I promise you I do. All right. I'll see y'all in the next video.